Well, I was sent to Hanmer Springs along with one other physiotherapist from my year, which was an impossible place to send a new graduate. And we went there and we lived in the nurse's home and worked with an English woman as our senior physiotherapist. There we used to take the women for exercises in the morning, 8 o'clock. Then we would take them swimming. Many of them were hysterical cases. We knew very, very little about psychology, so it was quite tough. We had to learn to try and identify if the person was having an hysterical fit or not when they're in the swimming pool, to get everybody out and get the person clothes so we could bring in a male orderly to help the person out, because they didn't swim with their clothes on. We as instructors did, but they didn't. And well, the chemicals rotted the bathing suits. That was the idea anyway. So then after that, the rest of our day, the majority of our day, was spent doing sedative massages on people, trying to get them to relax and go to sleep, because most of them were drug-induced sleeps they had at night time. It was rather incredible. We had some deep baths that they filled up with water, and we'd put a very low-grade galvanic current through this water, and this was supposed to be relaxing. They'd come out of that. Not all the patients had that. Majority just had a heat lamp on them for about 20 minutes, and then we'd go in and massage them for about 20 minutes with a sedative massage. So we felt like zombies by the end of the day. You're more or less willing people to go to sleep. So frightfully boring physiotherapy. The only relief we got from it were the local people coming in with various conditions from the outpatients clinic at the hospital, and also there was a local forestry there, and we got some of those people down. But yes, we treated hysterical paralysis, and treated one patient, for instance, who hadn't been able to walk since his daughter's marriage. He disapproved of the marriage and became paralysed. He didn't know why. He was a very, very nice man. But he became a paraplegic. And the basis of it was that he didn't approve of the fellow that his daughter was marrying. So he had been there about 3 months, and they referred him to physiotherapy, and they felt that he was coming round and ready to get better. So he came up to me, and I massaged his legs one day, and we got him up standing and sort of walking between two people. And the next day he came up in a wheelchair and he walked back on crutches, and the next, anyway, within a week we had him out on the golf course, and this was all attributed to me in his eyes. It was absolutely hilarious. But day after day there was this change in the way he came up for treatment and so on, until he was out playing golf. But we would get people like that, people that couldn't talk, and I remember giving them phoretic stimuli to the side of the larynx there, and I think they yelled out because it was jolly painful, and and we got them talking, and we'd ring up the hospital and tell them, you know, send somebody over so that they can, somebody from the ward will see her talking, so it can go back with her and keep her going. And very often it would go from one place to another. This girl developed a problem with her arm later on. So there were things that we'd never been trained for, quite outside our sphere. We did a psychology, did some while we were there, and with the nurses. It was that we went to classes at night, about once a week for about 6 weeks. They didn't help much either. We were very young, very inexperienced to deal with very emotionally unstable people. So eventually, when the bursar came round to see how I was, I said, well, if you leave me here much longer, I'll become like the patients. And she felt sorry for me and asked me where I'd like to go. And Green Lane was the place to go to in those days, so I said, Green Lane. And I got there. So that was my next appointment to Green Lane. After a year I went on there. Because I had received a bursary or a government loan for 2 years, I was committed to working for 18 months wherever the government wished to send me. So my first placement was at Henma and the next was at Green Lane.